Hello, friends. Want to jump in real quick and do a little bit with you with the hearse. So let's get right into that. On the last episode, we uh, finished up the back section of the door, and then we cut up a bunch of the interior right at the end of that video. So in this video, we're going to start putting some of this interior stuff back together. And I took some measurements and stuff, and you know, I wrote everything down on a notepad. And then some of these areas, like this in here where it had all these curves and stuff, I just kind of put that down on my Plastruck. Or I think this is actually Evergreen product, but I just kind of put that down on there, and then let me turn that around so you guys could see. So I just kind of put it down on there and kind of traced it out, you know. But this is what we got. I put these in some bags. I did this off camera just to speed up some time. And I tried to label all these just with pencil. But got that's the passenger door card. That's the one we were just showing on there. So we'll get that glued up. And I'm using Amber Boyd. I'm not sure how to pronounce that, but it's a pro weld. It's a plastic weld. We got the back section for the rear seat. And then we got the driver's side door card. And these back sections, the rear quarters, I'll probably use a couple paint sticks in the edge of my table, and I'll just kind of lock that down on there with a couple of clamps, and then maybe heat it up a little. But I want to get this bend right around here. I want to get that. Sorry, I'm all out of focus. I want to get that bend around here into this. So we'll heat that up and bend it over before we do that. But for real quick, I'll get these glued in. I guess we'll start with the seat backing. I'm not going to do anything fancy here. I'm going to leave a little bit extra up on the top, and I can just go back with my X-Acto blade later and trim that up. Just got to get it centered up on here. Actually, I see a couple of spots. There's a spot there I'm gonna have to file down just a little bit. So I'll do that real quick. Let me pause you. I'll bring you back. All right, so real quick, just got a little micro diamond tip file, and I'm just gonna file down on some of these back edges right here on both sides, just to kind of get that contour to be the same there. So pretty simple. Just got to take your time and, you know, keep checking your work. You don't want to take off too much. This file does a pretty good job, makes pretty quick work of it. So if you can see that there, but you just kind kind of took that edge off there. This one you can kind of see it's still got a little lip right there. Let's see how that fits. Like I said, it doesn't got to be exactly perfect. So this side, the passenger seat looks pretty good now. It looks like I can get that pretty flush, but the driver's side I got to take it just a little bit more off of. Alright, so I think that looks pretty good there. So I'm going to just hold this on that edge right there. We'll get a little drop of glue or plastic weld in there. Now I'll use the file to push on it, kind of hold it in place. And that one's cured. Now I think I'll move into the middle and just put some light pressure on there so we can get some glue in that area too. And this stuff will get right in your fingerprints too. I don't know if you'll be able to see that. Oh yeah, I put my fingerprint in there. But we'll fix all that, no worries. That's why it's best to use something else to push against it. Oop. All right, so that's pretty much on there. And then later on, I'll go back and I'll carve that middle section out. I'll sand that fingerprint up, and you won't even see that. All right, so we got that. Now let's do the smaller door card over here, just to get me an idea of where I needed to be with it. Let's see if I can loosen this up and then stick that to it. And we got that one glued in. And I know this is like bowed out here because I was trying to get it more flush on the inside. And we're going to use flocking in there, so you ain't going to notice little small imperfections in that anyway. We get this one done. door frame. I was going to use this for the rear section, but I had made it, this was just scraps, and I was like, oh, this almost fits, you know, so, but it was a little wide, so I'm just going to bring it up flush with this line here. Let me see, flush with this piece here, and then I'm going to trim this area up a little bit. And I actually have like this little router table for my Dremel. That's pretty cool. And I run that on my foot pedal too, so I got pretty good control over it. I just put an arrow here so I could find that spot better. Let me pause you. I'll bring you over there and show you guys the little Dremel table I got. All right, here we go. We're at the little Dremel table, and we'll just put this in there. I can leave this up so it'll be a little easier to see. And we're just going to trim off just a tiny bit right there. And this is just a regular Dremel down in there. It hooks in from the bottom. Gives you a flat table. This is all adjustable. These are on the Amazon website. I think they're about 50 bucks on there or something. And with the foot pedal, I can control the speed and be pretty precise with my cuts or the amount I'm taking off, you know. All right, so we got this little section here trimmed out, and then let's go fit it to the car and see how that goes. Let me pause you, and I'll bring you back over there. All right, so we got that pretty straightened out. I did have to grind out a little on this side and this side, and then notch out this edge to fit down in there. And that looks pretty good to me. The quarter covers will cover up the rest of that. And then when we put down the wood flooring, it'll look mint. So let me get this glued down, and we'll keep going. Just put a couple dabs right there in the middle just to give it some support in the center. And then we're going to go around and glue the sides too, so it'll be pretty structural when it's done. This is how I did a lot of my tub jobs on my section in the back half of the car and all that too, you know. The old Plas truck. And I'm going to glue this across the bottom here too. Now this rear section, I had to get a measurement on because this is going to extend out probably, you know, about 1/4 inch or so where that back door comes down. But I wasn't 100% sure. I got to put it together and get the measurement. I'm gonna glue this little edge up in here too. I think this section here we was gonna glue at the bottom base for our front floor. Or wait a minute, is that this one? No, I think this was going to be the interior side. And this was going to be the front floor side. Confusing myself. I didn't write that down, so. And this half of the interior, bottom half of the interior tub's going to be covered up with our chassis plate, so you won't even see any of that, you know. So I don't care what that looks like under there. But I do want to get this edge here tight. You can see it's still moving, so it ain't cured yet. Alright, so now we're going to do our rear quarter sections. And these I'm going to put in there. And these are not the correct length or anything, it was just a rough cut. Just so I could save some time. So this is going to be the bend. So that's where we're going to fold it at. And then I know where I'm going to have to cut a bunch off the top. So let me pause you. I'm gonna get a couple of paint mixing sticks, and we're gonna see if we can get that bent real quick. All right, so got a couple paint mixing sticks. They're actually the large popsicle sticks. I put one on each side of this just to hold it in place, and you know it's on that line. You can see that, my little pencil line. And I'm using these to kind of, because these absorb the heat, or not absorb the heat as much as the plastic, you know. So, and then I think I'll just kind of get it warm, and then take the other stick and just kind of bend it a little. Usually I'd use a couple of clamps on the edge of here, but I don't have any clamps on hand. I'm using the other two that I do have to hold up my little Dremel table that I makeshift made happen tonight. So let me try and get this heated up a little bit. Just using the CT heater. This is something that got off of Amazon. I seen it on one of Manny's videos over at Manny Scale Modeling, and thought I'd give it a try, and it's been great. I use this for a lot of stuff around here, so I got it on the low setting. Just trying to warm this up a little. So we can bend it over. All right, so that's it, basically in the ballpark. And I think I'm kind of draw a line. We're gonna get this, try and get this back here flush. And we'll draw a little line just down the inside edge. I could just use some scissors to kind of cut that up a little. It doesn't look too bad. I gotta take a little off the front here. And I think just a little bit more off of this edge here. We'll get this front piece cut first. These recorders are different sizes on each side. One's wider than the other. think I might switch this up and use this one on this side because the fitment seems better. Don't tell anybody I did that. Using my kid scissors. Yeah, I think I'm pretty comfortable with that. Maybe I'll take just a tiny bit off this front piece. Yeah, I think that looks pretty good. We'll get that glued on there. And that's that quarter. I'll get the other one done. I'll just do it off camera because we're running out of time here. So apologize. All right, so I heated that one up and bent it over, and this time I used the popsicle sticks around it so I could just uh, concentrate the heat right there where I needed it, and I think that worked out a lot better for me. So now I just got to get it all trimmed up to fit, and I'll probably just do that off camera, and I'll bring you back when we get that on, show you what it looks like. All right, so here we are real quick. Got most of the interior back half put back together. Got a couple small areas to touch up on, and I wait for everything to dry. I'll go back in and cut the seat out in the middle section, so that shows through on the back side as well. But yeah, it's coming together, huh? And the lines and little stuff on the floor rest, we're gonna put that wood down in there, so you ain't even gonna see that. So I'm not too concerned with that stuff there. But until the next episode, appreciate you guys for watching. Thank you, and you have a wonderful day.